everyone, it's Mila here. I hope you're all having an awesome day. So I am back with another speed build today, and we are working on this area right in front of my resident services today. As you can see guys, it is still bunny day here on Sinamilla Island, and that is actually because I recorded this video before we went on that villager hunt that we did last time. So maybe you also understand now why I was like in such hurry to move out from bunny day. It was kind of interesting to be building this area and not being able to time travel because I couldn't really grow any flowers or trees, which was kind of interesting. So at some point in this video you will see me running around the island and kind of stealing some flowers and bushes from here and there, and that is because I couldn't time travel. So I am using a lot of water elements for today's area. And as usual, I didn't really have a clear plan of what I wanted to do with this area, so it's kind of chaotic in the beginning, but it's slowly but surely starting to look like something here very soon, hopefully. It's also kind of nice because today's area is like right next to the area that we were working on last time. So we are kind of like tying in these smaller builds into the bigger picture of how I want this island to look like. And it's kind of nice to actually see how this island is slowly but surely turning into this tropical resort. I did actually end up coming back to this area a little bit later on in this video and changing it a little bit. I don't know, in my opinion it was a little bit too wide. So there will be like this awkward pause at one point in this video. I will let you guys know when it happens, but I ended up making this whole area just a tiny bit smaller. I don't even know if the difference is that noticeable. You guys can let me know, but I will let you know when that happens. But this wasn't like the final version of the area how this area ended up looking like. So if you have been following my channel for some time now, you probably know that I have two islands, and this particular island that we are working on today is not on my main Nintendo Switch. So I already spoke about this a little bit before, but I don't want to have Nintendo Online for both of my Switches. I ended up using that 7-day free trial some time ago now to download some custom designs, but now I kind of noticed that most of these designs that I downloaded I will not be using, which is kind of a bummer, and I'm now thinking like, should I get Nintendo Online back? As you can see here, I'm kind of trying to figure out how to like work with these custom designs. I would have really wanted to have a different kind of wooden planks for these like stepping stones that lead towards that bridge over there. I do like the way that they look just before the bridge, but I just couldn't really get it just right over here on these like stepping stones or hopping stones or whatever they are. They look okay, but I ended up going back and forth with them quite a lot before I kind of just decided that I cannot make it look any better. So I don't know. I might end up changing this around in the future, so in case you see this area a little bit later on, maybe in my Let's Plays or something, it might look a little bit different because I kind of want to change those wooden planks. Also, the kind of silly thing is that for some reason I downloaded like two different versions of the path to this account, and now I know I'm gonna be using only the one version of it, so I have like 9 or 10 slots just completely wasted on this account. So I don't know, I might even get Nintendo Online back for like a month or something for the Switch and just download some more custom designs, because I don't know, a lot of these slots are just going to waste, and 1 month is not too expensive, but it's kind of funny that you have to download a Nintendo Online just to get more custom designs, which is like Nintendo being Nintendo. So right now I am working on the bane of my existence of this build. This cliff thing was supposed to be like a backdrop for this build. I wasn't supposed to be working on this as long as I did. I went back and forth with this terraforming and waterscaping so many times. I almost left it out of this video because I don't know, you guys, I'm so indecisive when I build and I keep coming back and forth with these areas and changing them up all the time. Even now when I'm looking back at this video, I'm like, I could still change that up. But that was kind of my point here as well. Like, I really wanted to leave this kind of messing up to these videos and all this indecisiveness. So if you feel the same way as I do, at least we can be here for each other. All of us indecisive builders united. We can kind of support each other and be like, it's okay to mess up. It's okay to still, after 3 days of building this area, to come back to it and change it up once again. And yeah, we had some good discussions in the comments of one of my videos about waterscaping, and it is a lot of like, you need a lot of patience for this. It will be a lot of going back and forth with these little details, like especially when you're doing like a really complicated build like this that has a lot of terraforming, a lot of waterscaping. So I honestly have still so much to learn about terraforming and decorating and all of this. So my build videos will always be like this, at least for a really long time. They will be including a lot of this messing up. And I hope that is like kind of comforting for some of you who might be just like me, like sometimes maybe a little bit too harsh on yourself when you're building and you're like, oh, it has to be perfect. But you know, messing up is also part of the fun. At least that's what I'm trying to tell myself. But I don't know, I've been really happy to build this island. I'm really inspired by this tropical theme, and I have a lot of ideas for future builds, so definitely make sure you like this video and let me know if you want to see more speed builds. I have like my next idea already brewing, and the next build will actually be the first, or not the first if you count the surfboard shop, but it will be a villager housing area, and I'm really excited to build that. I have still like no idea how I'm gonna make that idea come to life, but I really hope I can really make it as good as it is in my head right now. But you know, we all know that sometimes when you have a really great idea, it's really hard to make that idea come to life in Animal Crossing. By the way, right now was that awkward moment that I was talking about in the beginning of this video. I don't know if you could tell the difference between how the area looked like and how it looks like right now, but in case someone noticed, this first level water area is actually a little bit more narrow than it was before. I just really didn't feel the need to include it in this video because it was just me basically rebuilding this area once again. So just a fun little fact, I did end up changing that. I don't know if you can even tell, to be fair, but let me know if you can. You might need to rewind the video back a little bit to see the very subtle one grid change. So the speed building part of this build is kind of in the finish line right now. I'm just adding some details to this. This area actually ended up looking quite different in the end. So soon you will see the end result. But at this point I was kind of like over building this area already. I was like, I just need to leave this be and be happy with what I got right now. I did end up changing some bigger details of this area off camera actually, but to be honest you guys, I was building this area over the course of like 3 days or something, so I was like, you know what, it's enough of speed building and you can kind of get like the main idea of this build from this video. So that will kind of probably happen in the future as well. I might come back to these areas and change some details when I just get like better ideas of what I want to do with it exactly, if that makes any sense. I have a feeling that the end result of this island will probably be a little bit different from all these speed builds that that we will be doing together, because you know, sometimes the inspiration just like strikes you in the middle of the day and you just want to change some things up and maybe work on some area a little bit more. But this is like the general idea of what I wanted this area to look like. I wasn't like 100% satisfied with this area. Like, there is still something that I want to change, but I still haven't quite figured it out. Like, what is that thing that I want to change with this? But I have a feeling that this build especially will be changing in the future. I did also quite a lot of decorating around the area off camera because the surroundings just seemed a little bit empty when I was like looking up from this area. So yeah, I guess I ended up doing quite a lot of stuff and not filming it. But you know, I'm still learning the ways of speed building, so thank you for sticking with me so far. We will be touring this area here in just a little bit. I hope you have been enjoying this speed build, even when this area actually ends up looking quite much different. But maybe at least I can tell you a little bit what changed. I hope I remember to do that. But this is pretty much it. Okay, are you guys ready to tour the final product of today's build? So this is the way to my resident services. We have these cute little hopping stones over here. Probably the first thing that changed was the setup with these. I ended up adding this little thing here and changing this up a little bit. I also added some waterfalls to the right, and this part ended up changing quite drastically. If you remember, it had that like bridge over here. So what a waste of bells. I actually ended up removing the whole bridge from here. Yeah, I am still not sure. Maybe one day that bridge will come back here, but at least for now, I'm kind of enjoying this like fake bridge over here. And obviously I just ended up adding some like fencing and little details over here, but you know, the illusion kind of breaks over here because nothing is ready behind the resident services. So let's not focus on that. I still need to figure out what I want to call this, like lagoon or like path to resident services. Honestly, I have no idea what this area even is. It's just like a random random build in the middle of my island. But I hope you can see some details over here right now. Let me try to get a better view from here as well, so you can see some details and some items that I used for this area. But this is what we have so far, and I'm okay with what we have here right now. It's kind of a cute little pathway leading towards resident services. But this is the build pretty much. And this is what it looks like during nighttime. I don't know, I just wanted to show you guys the evening look. But I hope I did manage to squeeze in enough details to this little tour of how this area ended up looking like. The next thing that we will be working on is over to this direction, and yeah, this is the build that I have some big plans for, and I hope I can make them happen. So make sure you tune in for this one. It's going to be an interesting one, hopefully. Like, I honestly don't know if it will turn out that great, but I hope so. I hope so. I also hope that this video was not too much all over the place, because it might have been, and I apologize for that. I've been having the worst headache of my life the whole day today, so in case you were wondering, I am blaming the headache for being a hot mess today. But anyways, thank you so much for watching today's speed build. I hope you did enjoy it. Make sure you like it and feel free to subscribe to the channel for more Animal Crossing content in the future. Thank you for watching, you guys. I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye guys!